An Introduction to DOTD Records Management. This video is going to show you how to handle DOTD's records. And before you say you don't handle records, keep in mind that there are many more records being kept across DOTD than many people think. An official record is the official or original copy of anything that documents an action or decision related to your work at the agency. It doesn't matter what the format of the record is. It can be paper or electronic, anything from a Word document to an email to a voicemail to a text message, or, technically speaking, a scribbled note on scrap paper. It doesn't matter what the record is made out of. It matters what the record says. Examples of records include plans, contracts, meeting minutes, invoices, personnel records, maintenance records, and much more. So, your job at DOTD probably involves dealing with at least one type of record. What does that mean for you, though? Official records need to be kept according to official rules. These rules are explained in a document called the Records Retention Schedule, which is available on the Records Management intranet page or by requesting a paper copy by emailing dotd-rmrequests@la.gov. The Retention Schedule is an official document approved by the Louisiana Secretary of State's office and is created according to legal requirements and DOTD's business practices. It is a function-based schedule, which means it is arranged by what different records do. For example, if the record in question is a plan, the plan's function is project design and delivery. If the record is a contract, its function is contract administration. If the record is an employee grievance form, its function is human resources. Within each function are smaller categories called record series. To find out how long each type of record needs to be kept, we look at the record series. For example, airport capital improvement plans fall under the function Program Administration and the record series Aviation Program Administration. Each record series has its own set of rules for how long the record should be kept, and whether there is an option to put the record in offsite storage before it can be disposed of. The period of time before the final portion of the record's life cycle is called the active period, or ACT, and it is defined in the schedule's remarks column. Each series will have an active period that reflects the specific requirements for dealing with that series' records. In the case of Aviation Program Administration records, they must be kept until the end of the calendar year in which project final acceptance is received, or funding source closes out. This is the ACT period. And then, once that year ends, they must be kept for an additional 5 calendar years before disposal. For those 5 calendar years, however, this series does have the option for the records to be placed in offsite storage, meaning that you could move the record out of the office within a year of final acceptance taking place. Offsite storage is an option primarily used by employees at DOTD headquarters. To prepare a box for offsite storage, locate the correct record series, complete a box transmittal sheet, request DOTD approved boxes from dotd-rmrequests@la.gov, and then prepare the boxes according to the instructions in the DOTD Records Management Handbook. Your boxes will be picked up and taken to the offsite storage warehouses for either storage or disposal, depending on where the record is in its life cycle. Whether or not you are sending your records to offsite storage, there are still specific procedures you must follow to dispose of records properly. Permission to dispose must be requested in writing before disposal, and afterward, a certificate of destruction must be completed. Now you have an idea of how to handle records. But what do you do with documents that don't meet the definition of official records? Documents that don't meet the definition of records are called non-records. They are either non-records because they have very short-term value, like a morning invitation to a meeting that afternoon, because they are duplicate copies of a record, or because they have nothing to do with your work at DOTD, like an email about where to go for lunch. Non-records usually can and should be disposed of as soon as you are through with them, but there is a very important exception called the legal hold. A legal hold occurs when DOTD's legal counsel believes there is a high likelihood of a lawsuit. All records and non-records related to the subject of the lawsuit must be kept until an announcement is made that the legal hold is over. Then they must be disposed of according to the rules in the records retention schedule. On a similar note, if any of your documentation, be it a record or a non-record, is needed to provide evidence of money spent by DOTD to assist in the recovery from a declared disaster, it will need to be kept until the end of the calendar year when that disaster is financially closed, plus another 3 calendar years in office. This has been a general overview of records management at DOTD. Hopefully, this has given you a good understanding of official records and non-records, as well as the protocol for handling documents and facilitating their disposal. For more information, please email dotdrmrequests@la.gov. We're happy to answer your questions and can also set up phone calls or meetings to handle more in-depth records-related needs. Thanks for watching.